Possible new COVID-19 strain found in Nigeria. Nigeria's COVID-19 cases rise to more than 84,000 as NCDC confirms 838 new infections. In international news, mutated coronavirus strain detected in multiple countries outside the UK. And in sport, Ronaldo beats Messi to emerge as player of the century.
This is ANN News.
I am Olajumoke Olatunji. COVID-19 infection numbers are shooting up in the country as a second wave has now set in. Complicating matters now is the detection of a new strain of the virus in the country, even as the Center for Disease Control reported on Sunday 838 new cases in 15 states and the Federal Capital Territory, where the highest number of cases, 297 infections, were recorded. Lagos followed with 253 cases. NCDC reports 539 patients had recovered across the country and 7 new fatalities were recorded during the 24 hours. As of Sunday, more than 71,000 patients had been discharged. Total number of deaths related to coronavirus complications stands at 1,254. New strains of the coronavirus are being detected in many countries and are said to be more than 70% more transmissible. A possible new strain of the virus has been discovered in Nigeria and may complicate an already worsening case in the country. Correspondent Deji Badmus reports.
Health authorities in Nigeria are not sounding the alarm bell yet on what the Africa CDC says might be a possible discovery of another variant of the coronavirus in the country. Here's how the head of the Nigeria CDC explained how the discovery was made and what's been done about it.
When this new strain was reported in the UK, what we did was work with Redeemers University, and they then looked through the historical archive of viruses that had already been sequenced. And through that retrospective analysis, found 2 viruses that were similar to the one in the UK, but not the same. So had a few similarities, but enough for us to say that this did not originate from the same population of viruses. So what we're now going to do with Redeemers University is collect a selection of other viruses circulating in Nigeria now, so from the more recent cases, and try and compare what we have now to what we had previously in Nigeria, but also what is circulating abroad. So this is ongoing work that we'll be carrying out over the next few weeks to see whether we can explain some of the changes, some of the increased transmission that is happening in Nigeria, and to look at whether it is related to the virus or related, which is most likely to be the case, into behavior among individuals across the country.
Experts say the possibility that another variant of the virus might be in Nigeria is a serious cause for concern.
We should be worried, even though to a large extent the pathogenesis of these variants has not really been completely established, but to a large extent there is sufficient scientific information to actually tell us that the new variant actually enhances rapid transmission, and that is why we should be worried. And that's why we should quickly look for a way to stem this tide, to stop it.
Nigeria has seen a spike in COVID-19 infections recently, forcing the government to reopen isolation centers and reinstate some restrictions. It has also announced new travel rules for passengers flying into the country from the United Kingdom and South Africa, which have both confirmed new variants of the coronavirus.
All passengers coming into the country from the UK and South Africa on direct flights must use the Nigeria International Travel Portal to register, fill in their health questionnaire. They must upload a negative COVID-19 PCR result with a validity of not more than 5 days, and they must pay for a COVID PCR test at day 7 of arrival in country.
Authorities are appealing to people to adhere strictly to preventive measures like washing of hands, physical distancing and the use of face masks. The government says it hopes to get a supply of COVID-19 vaccines by the end of January. It also targets to vaccinate around 100 million Nigerians by the end of March next year.
The federal government has been advised on the management of COVID-19 second wave. ANAP Foundation, a think tank that was established earlier this year to respond to the coronavirus disease pandemic, says the federal government cannot afford to shut small businesses as a result of coronavirus second wave. The group says the government must consider recession, high unemployment and rising insecurity. A statement by the group over the weekend noted Nigeria should study countries that have similar realities like Ethiopia and Senegal, rather than copying other countries that are experimenting with variations of lockdown measures to balance lives and livelihoods as infections cases rise, especially during the holiday season. The foundation has recommended that businesses in Nigeria stay open and that all Nigerians should observe safety measures like wearing face masks, maintaining physical distancing, avoiding indoor crowds and frequently washing hands. The group also says Nigerians who can work from home should be encouraged to do so. It also advised the federal government not to join the bandwagon of countries banning flights from the United Kingdom and other hotspots. It says the country's travel protocols are robust enough as they require 7 days isolation on arrival and a second test. The group has 18 members drawn from across the 6 geopolitical zones and from Germany and the United States. The Southwest Security Network, Amotekun in Oyo State, says its operatives did not kill a University of Ibadan students a week ago, as alleged. Court Commandant retired Colonel Olayinka Olayanju said in a press release on Saturday that the security network only engaged a 3-man robbery gang whose leader was eliminated and the corpse handed to the police. He said the surviving 2 other members are with the State Central Investigation Department in Ibadan. Coming up, African news. African Center for Disease Control advises against unwarranted holiday travel. And later, international news. Mutated coronavirus strain detected in multiple countries outside the UK.
You are watching ANN.
The city slept. We installed a board in the middle of a park with something special hidden inside. We wondered if people would notice. They didn't, so we invited Nigerians to add their polls to the scene, whichever way they chose to. Some literally added their own polls. Some sang, others rapped, and even recited poetry. As they added their polls, the board came alive. Hidden figures broke free from obscurity, inspired by the crowd expressing themselves.
You know you can't do anything.
Because why blend in when you can stand out? NTN polls. Do you? Dial star 406# to join.
Welcome back. This is ANN News. Africa Center for Disease Control and Prevention has sounded the alarm for possible spike in coronavirus spread during this holiday season. The center says if you don't need to travel during the season, don't. Correspondent Koleta Wanjohi reports.
Traveling to celebrate with family is the norm in Africa during such a festive season. But this year, experts are warning that traveling and mass gatherings may lead to increased spread of the coronavirus.
Let's go celebrating with a theme, a common theme that are called Save, COVID Safe Festivity End of Year season. COVID Safe Festivity End of Year season, which means I'm here because my neighbor is there. So that it means I have to protect myself and protect my neighbor. And the way to do that is that we wear the mask, we distance, we celebrate even indoors with the appropriate social distancing, recognizing that statistics are showing us that 1 in 5 transmissions will occur in those kind of settings, and you never know.
International travel has also been affected this festive season. A new strain of the virus is now being reported in the United Kingdom. In Africa, South Africa is reporting a similar trend, which health experts in the country say may be driving a second wave of infections. Germany, Turkey, Israel, Switzerland and Saudi Arabia are some of the countries that have restricted travel to and from South Africa, which is currently reporting about 10,000 new cases daily. The Africa CDC says for now, wearing masks, washing hands and practicing physical distancing remain the most effective ways to curb infections.
As a continent, if you look at the number of new cases, daily new cases, there we are very close to where we were at the peak of the pandemic in July, August. Okay, July, August time frame, we are recording close to 17,000, 16,000 cases, and now we are close to that number, if not at that number now. So my projection is that with the holiday season coming, we will probably exceed that number by January or February or January. Absolutely no doubt about that.
But as the cases rise, Kenya and Ethiopia's national carriers are getting ready to transport vaccines when they become available. At the Bole International Airport in Addis Ababa, the cargo section is ready to handle vaccines. Ethiopian Airlines has acquired machines called cool dollies to ensure that the vaccines are transported at their right temperatures from the storage rooms to the aircrafts. At least 28 aircrafts have been set aside to transport vaccines.
They have different uplift capacity. For example, we can uplift up to 65 tons with the 777-300, Airbus up to 55 tons, 787-900 up to 50 tons. So these different uplift capacities have their own temperature control also. So they are latest, they can be adjustable into the temperature requirement of the pharmaceuticals or the vaccines.
The airline says it has already secured an order to transport vaccines from China to Brazil and Uganda in less than a month's time. COVAX, the global initiative to ensure rapid and equitable access to COVID-19 vaccines, says it has secured agreements for 2 billion doses of vaccine candidates, which are still under development. They will be sent to 92 countries, including African states. Vaccines may be on their way, but health experts are urging people to take precautions to stay safe over the holiday season.
South Africa has surpassed 1 million COVID-19 cases, becoming the first country on the African continent to register more than that figure. Authorities in the nation had confirmed that a new, faster-spreading coronavirus variant had been detected. The latest milestone was announced by South Africa's Health Minister, Zweli Kizé, on Sunday. That brings the confirmed coronavirus cases to at least 1,005,000. Nearly 27,000 have died of the infection since the outbreak began in March. Some hospitals and medical centers have reported a huge rise in admissions, putting a heavy strain on resources. Morocco follows South Africa as the worst-hit country on the African continent. The country has seen more than 400,000 COVID-19 cases and 7,200 deaths. President Cyril Ramaphosa is expected to announce tougher restrictions to prevent the virus from spreading further. A new coronavirus variant is believed to be driving the surge in infections. It was identified by a network of South African scientists in the Eastern Cape province and then rapidly spread to other parts of the country. Tunisia has extended the nationwide curfew to mid-January 2021 to curb the spread of COVID-19. Tunisian Health Minister Fawzi Mehdi told a news conference in the capital Tunis. The measures also include extending the ban on movements between governorates and on gatherings, demonstrations, fairs and meetings. Cafes are to close at 7 p.m. local time. New Year's celebrations have also been banned. Wearing a mask is still compulsory in all places, in addition to the continued application of preventive and hygiene measures of physical distancing, ventilation, and hand washing. When we return, international news. Mutated coronavirus strain detected in multiple countries outside the UK.
You are watching ANN.
Welcome back. This is ANN News. More countries have reported cases related to a new and more infectious coronavirus variant first detected in the United Kingdom. Canada confirmed 2 such cases involving a couple in the country's largest province of Ontario. The couple have not known travel history or high-risk contacts. The province of Ontario is now under lockdown. Meanwhile, Spain has announced 4 cases, all involving recent arrivals from Britain. Officials say their conditions are not serious. Over in Sweden, 1 case has been detected in a person who traveled from London to the country to celebrate Christmas. He has been confirmed sick with a new variant of the coronavirus. On its part, Italy has recorded 9 confirmed cases of the new coronavirus variant on Saturday. Japan's Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare reports 2 new cases of the more contagious coronavirus on Saturday. A pilot who has recently spent time in the UK and a spouse who lives in Japan are the first cases of the new virus variant outside of Japanese airport quarantine facilities. So far, the country has reported 7 cases related to the new virus strain. The spreading of the more transmissible coronavirus has prompted Japan to close its borders to all new entries by non-resident foreigners starting today, Monday. And U.S. hospitals are bracing for a surge in new COVID-19 cases after a large number of Americans chose to travel during the holidays, further threatening an already overburdened healthcare system. CBS News reported during Christmas week, 25 states and the District of Columbia saw a spike in COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations. California, the first state to surpass 2 million confirmed COVID-19 cases, is now the epicenter of the latest outbreak in the U.S., the country's worst hit by the pandemic. After Thanksgiving, California's governor warned residents to expect a surge on top of a surge within weeks. California's healthcare system is on the verge of breaking down as some hospitals in Los Angeles are experiencing a dire shortage of personal protective gear and therapeutic supplies like oxygen, while patients have to wait in line for hours before getting help. U.S. health experts are again urging Americans to follow coronavirus prevention measures and avoid traveling and having parties during the holiday season. Transportation Security Administration TSA tally on Sunday showed more than 7 million passengers had taken flights during the past week. Passengers traffic at American airports nationwide on Sunday has been estimated to be more than 1 million.
7 days before a cliff-edge deadline, the Brexit deal is done. After a difficult negotiation, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen called a press conference with Chief Negotiator Michel Barnier to announce the news. This, she says, was a deal worth fighting for. On the other side of the English Channel, elation. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson promised to get Brexit done and clear the way for an oven-ready deal. The PM stressed that the deal guarantees sovereignty for Britain and, crucially, he claims, regaining control of the UK's fishing waters, albeit after a 5-year transition period. This was for months a key sticking point, yet both sides managed to reel each other in until a compromise was made. But questions remain for businesses and the impact this will have on financial services. Even with a deal, many economists argue that the UK's and the EU's GDP will take a considerable hit.
And even with the I's now dotted and the T's crossed, the drama is not over in Brussels. By the end of the year, the Council has to evaluate the deal. Then it's got to be ratified by the UK Parliament and the European one. There could be some late nights ahead in the Belgian capital.
For some time, it looked as if a no-deal Brexit was afoot. But the UK and the European Union have been able to iron out sticking points in the agreements to fashion out a deal with which they could both live. Correspondent Benji Hire reports.
Up next, sports. Ronaldo beats Messi to emerge as player of the century. Please stay with us.
You are watching ANN.
We are on the road every day, canvassing throughout Africa for news you really need. We follow the story everywhere, from every corner of Nigeria to the wide African expanse. We bring you what's making headlines. We connect you with news you can use. ANN, African News Network, in a truly African spirit.
Somewhere in the world, every second of the day, news is happening. And of course, Nigeria is bustling with news day and night. That is why ANN doesn't sleep. Our eyes are peeled, wide open, so no story escapes our radar. We stay abreast of world events and happenings at home. We keep you up to the minute in the world of sports. We give you information to stay on top of your investments and all the hard facts you'll need to navigate your day. If you miss us on air, you can keep up to date on our website and on our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at ANN Africa TV. We are ANN, African News Network. We do news right in a truly African spirit.
Welcome back. This is ANN News. In sport, 31-year-old Nigerian UFC middle Cristiano Ronaldo and Pep Guardiola have been honored as the player and coach of the century. Juventus forward Ronaldo defeated Barcelona star Messi to get the award. Ronaldo has won domestic league titles in Spain, England, and Italy, and Euro 2016 with Portugal. That is ANN News this evening. Thank you for joining us. For details on these and other breaking stories, visit our website, annafrica.news. Conversation continues on our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at ANN Africa TV. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. Have a pleasant evening.